Signing legal documents while under the influence of alcohol or drugs can have serious consequences. When someone signs a contract or will while impaired, it may render the document voidable or invalid entirely. Understanding these legal risks is essential for both individuals and businesses. For a contract to be legally binding, certain basic elements must be present. These include an offer from one party, clear agreement terms that both parties understand, and an exchange of something valuable. Most importantly, all parties must be competent and not under duress when signing. If someone cannot understand the agreement due to impairment, this fundamental requirement is compromised. Legal signatures must meet specific requirements to be enforceable. Signers generally need to be at least 18 years old. For businesses, only authorized representatives can sign binding documents. Electronic signatures are legally valid under the Electronic Signatures in Global and National Commerce Act, but they may face additional scrutiny if impairment is suspected. Some documents also require notarization or witnesses to confirm authenticity. When someone signs a contract while impaired by drugs or alcohol, they may have grounds to void that contract. Courts evaluate whether the impairment prevented the person from understanding what they were signing. The extent of influence matters significantly. Minor intoxication might not be sufficient to void a contract, but severe impairment that prevents comprehension likely would be. It's important to note that if someone becomes mentally impaired after signing a contract, the agreement typically remains valid. The issue arises when impairment exists at the moment of signing. Courts use several factors to assess impairment in contract disputes. They examine the degree of impairment and whether it truly prevented understanding. The burden of proof falls on the impaired party, who must present evidence such as medical records or witness testimony. Courts also consider whether the person understood the nature of the agreement despite their condition. Judges often look skeptically at cases where someone attempts to void a contract only after trying to benefit from it. For business contracts, impairment concerns require special attention. Companies should ensure all signers are of sound mind during execution. Some businesses include specific clauses addressing potential disputes related to impaired signing. Good record-keeping practices, including timestamps, witness verification, and consent confirmations, can help mitigate future legal challenges. There are several ways to prevent impairment claims when dealing with potentially vulnerable individuals. If someone has a known mental illness or developmental delay, finding a court-appointed guardian to sign on their behalf provides protection. Most states require at least one witness to be present during contract signing, which adds another layer of verification. Legal safeguards can protect all parties when signing important documents. Using a notary public ensures the signer understands the document and adds legal protection. For high-value contracts or estate planning documents, video recording the signing process creates valuable evidence. Having an attorney present during signing can also help prevent future claims of impairment. If impairment is suspected, the best approach is often to postpone signing until all parties are clearly of sound mind. Wills have their own specific requirements for validity. A will must demonstrate testamentary intent, meaning the person clearly states the document represents their wishes. The testator must have testamentary capacity, understanding they are making a will, knowing what property they own, and comprehending how their assets will be distributed. The will must be free from fraud, duress, mistakes, or undue influence. Finally, proper ceremonial requirements must be followed, including witness signatures. Impairment can lead to serious disputes in estate planning. Courts require proof that the testator understood their estate and beneficiaries. Family members or caregivers who manipulate an impaired individual to alter their will may face legal consequences. Some individuals choose to undergo medical examinations before signing their will to verify capacity and prevent future challenges. A will can be invalidated through fraud or undue influence. Fraud involves falsifying statements of facts to deceive the testator. This can happen through fraud in execution, where the testator is deceived about what document they're signing, or fraud in inducement, where the testator relies on false information when making decisions. Undue influence occurs when another person's desires replace the testator's own wishes, though this requires substantial evidence to prove. To summarize, signing papers while under the influence creates significant legal risks. Courts assess the level of impairment to determine if contracts or wills remain enforceable. Mental incapacity claims require substantial evidence, and documents signed before impairment generally remain valid. Precautions like using court-appointed guardians, witnesses, and notaries can prevent disputes over document validity. Understanding these considerations helps protect both the impaired individual and other parties involved in legal agreements.